What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a sponsored video about the Riftbreaker and its DLC, Metal Terror. This video is sponsored by XOR Studios, the developer of the Riftbreaker, just ahead of the launch of the Metal Terror DLC. The DLC itself is going to launch about 6 hours or so from the time this video goes live, or today, July 18th. For $9.99, you can pick up the base game for $29.99 as well. But in addition to the DLC, there's going to be a very large update that will actually add a lot to the base game as well. So what we're going to cover in this video is what this game actually is, everything the base game update is going to get, which you get for free if you own the Riftbreaker. You don't need the DLC for that part. And then we're going to discuss what's actually in the DLC itself. And if you find any of this interesting, there will be a link to the Steam page down below where you can check out the title for yourself. It will be available on Steam, Epic Game Store, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S as well. So whatever platform floats your boat, really. Let's talk about what Riftbreaker actually is, because it's a pretty interesting title that blends a lot from a few different genres. As you've probably seen on screen by now, it takes elements from real-time strategy, ARPG, things like base building, etc. So what we're going to be doing, the point of what we're doing anyway, in terms of story mode, is prepare a planet, Galatea 37, to be colonized by humans. And to do that, we have to set up a rift station to allow for the long-distance planetary travel. However, the local fauna isn't exactly crazy about that idea and is attracted to your machines and tries to kill you all the time. So you have to defend yourself against that while attempting to build the rift station, all while upgrading your own character as well as your actual base. Now, in addition to the story mode, there are two other modes you can play, such as Survival and Sandbox. In Survival, your goal is to survive for a set amount of time while you build up defenses and just try to survive a particular biome. And then in Sandbox, it's pretty much a free-for-all. You have access to everything. You can just kind of build your base and do the things you want to do. Now, if you're familiar with the base building mechanics of real-time strategy games, you should feel right at home here. Essentially, you're going to build up buildings, which will then enable research and allow more and more types of building and exploration, etc. As you build up your base, more becomes available to you, and you'll be able to research farther and continue to do more, all while exploring the various biomes of Galatea. Because the map you start the game on is your sort of headquarters. It's where your main base is. However, in order to build the rift station, you're going to have to look for materials that are harder to find outside of just where you landed. And this is where some of our rift travel comes into play. We'll be able to travel to other points on the planet to collect these resources and establish outposts there. And in this manner, we'll be traveling across things like a volcanic biome, a more desert area, a swamp, or the jungle, which is kind of the default. And with the new Metal Terror DLC, a biome that is drenched in heavy metals, if you will, the periodic table of elements sort of heavy metals, but we'll get to that. Now, on the ARPG side of things, as we're going around doing this, we're going to be upgrading our character. In addition to base building, etc., we're going to get access to a variety of crafting schematics for our own character. This will come in forms of a variety of different weapons available to us, things like grenade launchers, rocket launchers, miniguns, that type of thing, in addition to other equipment that will make our mecha suit that we're actually running around the game in that much stronger, as well as things like consumables. And it's important you keep upgrading because as time passes and as you build more and more stuff, you'll come across increasingly difficult waves of enemies attacking your base, in addition to the species you'll find just around the planet that will run into you and attack you as you explore and look for a variety of resources to ultimately build your rift station. From here, let's talk about the free content update coming to the game. So this will include the new biome, the Metallic Valley, as it is properly known, meaning that even if you don't have the DLC, you'll still be able to go to the biome or the generated maps with this environment regardless. However, you won't be able to experience the story. In addition to that, you will be able to take place in the survival mode of the Metallic Valley as well as part of the free update, and this biome naturally includes new sorts of creatures to fight, which all have a pretty awesome look to them, a sort of cyborg meets organic source of life, if you will. This biome also brings with it a new material, or a resource known as morphium, which allows various buildings to break the laws of physics. And it helps facilitates a lot of the new stuff as well. Now, all of that would be great, but naturally, we need new weapons to fight everything with. So you'll get access to things like lightning guns, heavy plasma cannons, and even a chainsaw, again, still part of the free content update. And there's even more than that. They've rebalanced survival mode as part of this as well, in addition to bringing quality of life tools like a mass repair and a mass upgrade tool. So rather than having to repair or upgrade units individually, you can use the mouse wheel to make the square of everything you'd like to upgrade bigger and just upgrade and repair things all at once, which is nice. And that's not even the full list. There's even more stuff, but those are the highlights. Now, let's actually talk about the Metal Terror paid DLC. So this comes with a brand new story, of course, and after you get a little ways into the story mode of the game, a meteor will crash near your base and you'll be able to investigate, which leads to the Metal Terror story in story mode. Again, though, you can just check out the Metallic Valley area via survival or sandbox mode still if you just want to check out the new place. Now, in addition to the new fauna and flora added to the new biome, which adds different varieties of challenges as these enemies will do different things than the ones we've encountered previously, we'll also get things like new additions to the technology tree, weapons, and equipment, utilizing all the various new stuff we find around the biome itself. All in all, the story adds several new hours of gameplay. Depending on exactly how you play, that'll vary, but it is a decently sized DLC, and you can expect to spend easily 5+ hours on it. Now, the actual story of the Metal Terror DLC, no spoilers, but I will give you the setup, revolves around investigating these curious sort of mechanical meets organic life forms that you find in the Metallic Valley, a place that is laden with natural heavy metals. In addition to where this mysterious resource, morphium as it's known, actually came from. But there you guys go. A quick overview of the Riftbreaker as well as its new DLC and new content for the base game. Again, if you want to check this game out, a link to the Steam page is down below. However, it is available on consoles and the Epic Games Store if that's more your speed. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. But regardless of any of that, truly just thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.